Richard Hubbard for Queensberry Promotions. We're here in Islington and we've got Anthony, the Beast Yarde with us. How are you, sir?
I'm magnificent. Fantastic day. We ain't had sun in this country for a long time. I'm seeing sunshine, so I'm happy.
I think you always bring the sunshine, Anthony. Now, the reason we're here is the announcement of your fight against Lyndon King Arthur. Now, that's a fight that's got people talking.
Absolutely. It's an exciting fight. We're both heavy hitters. It's going to be an exciting fight. It's going to be an exciting anticipation. And again, he's undefeated. I'm at a stage in my career where it's the comeback. It's in London City, O2 Arena. So I'm excited for it.
What's going on though? Because if you read stuff over the last couple of years on social media, they'll say Anthony doesn't fight domestic opponents. He won't take him on. He won't take him on. But here we are, domestic opponent, unbeaten one. What's going on?
There's nothing going on. I've always been the same. It's just that I don't listen to nonsense. I do not listen to bullshit. And people always have an opinion when they're not involved in your career. They're not involved in your career. They don't know what route you're taking. I got to the world stage by my approach and my methods. I got to the world stage and I'm going to get back to the world stage again. Someone said this to me the other day, "Oh, you're coming back down." This ain't a come down fight. It's just it's all part of the process. And if you look at the strategy behind it, it's like a masterclass. It's genius. If I pulled it off in Russia and became a world champion, again, the fight after that could have been something similar to this, or it could have been against someone else, because you would want to keep the belt, you want to keep gaining experience again, but under the lights. I only had 12 amateur fights. I've got way less experience than Lyndon Arthur, way less. But again, it's how I perform in the ring and the excitement I bring, which has boosted me to the level where people are interested. So you build a name for yourself, and then there's expectations. But I can't. If you listen to that, if I listen to what the public was saying, in my 12th professional fight, I would have been fighting for a British title. In my opinion, it's just too early. You need time to gain experience and fight different opponents, fight different styles. Again, the thing that lost me the Kovalev fight was experience. Kovalev said it himself straight after the fight. I beat him with experience. And again, that's something I knew as well. Usually, I've never been put in a scenario before where I need to win by knockout. That's the only option. I'm not going to go to Russia and get a decision when he's got the fight with Canelo next. That's not going to happen. No, even if it's tight, even if I win, clearly, you've seen it in boxing before. I was not willing to risk that. I said I'm going to go out there and I'm going to knock him out. It wasn't bragging or boasting. That's what I was aiming to do. And I was happy with the way the fight ended, rather than it goes to points and then they give him the decision when I think I won. That would have upset me.
Lyndon Arthur, I mean, you said over the years, but you don't really pay a lot of attention to other people in the division, only if you're coming up to fight them. Are you aware of him? Have you had a look at him, that sort of thing? Absolutely
not. The only thing I do know of Lyndon Arthur is that he's a light heavyweight boxer. He's from England and from Manchester. It's a little story as well. I was with him about 2 months ago. I went out to Manchester. I was up in Manchester, and I saw him and I saw Zolfa first, and he was with Zolfa. I think him and Zolfa are tight, so I see Zolfa. I was like, "Yo, what's up? What are you saying, boy?" So me and Zolfa started talking, and Lyndon was there as well. Again, we was basically in the same place, no animosity. But before that, I seen little interviews of him mentioning my name. But that's what boxing's about. There was no animosity when we saw each other face to face. And that's what, if I saw Canelo and we knew of it, I've seen Canelo before. We've spoken, we've had, he don't speak very good English, but I fought when he's undercard in Texas, and I saw him when he's done the press conference for when he was going to fight Triple G. And he knows who I am. He said, "Good luck." This is way before he was anywhere near light heavyweight. But again, when my name got associated with his, I was all for that. He's on a way higher level than me. I said, "Canelo, yeah, of course, I love that fight." And that's what Lyndon Arthur did. He saw me as I'm like, I've got a target on my back. I'm probably the biggest name in light heavyweight division in Britain. So of course he's going to call me out.
I know you probably don't like looking back, but I'm going to ask you about post Kovalev. How long did it take you to sort of reconcile you know, tasting defeat for the first time? Because I don't think you even got defeated as an amateur, so it really was a first taste of defeat for you.
Just keep moving on. It happens in life, and a loss in a boxing ring, it's part of your career. But I've had losses outside the ring as well. Even up to recently, I had a loss in the family from someone that was very close to me. No, it's cool. It's life. It's life. And did that hurt more than the Kovalev fight? Probably. But it's life. You know, people. You go through things in life, and you need to bounce back and just keep going. You know, it's your journey. Everyone around you is it's not you. It's not your being, and your being and your story. So just keep going. You know. God forbid if I went today, I would want everyone I love and care about and everyone around me to just keep excelling. That's the kind of person I am. Even people that I don't know, I want them to prevail and excel. That's just my personality. I love seeing success. I love seeing happy stories. I love seeing growth. So yeah, it's just one of the things. The defeat didn't shatter me. It upset me in the beginning, but again, I'm one of the people that I will always bounce back. I've still got a smile on my face. Still the same smile, still the same AY, still beast from the East, and it's still Lions in the camp. I'm still motivating up and coming fighters. I'm still motivating people that just want to get into the gym. I'm still motivating people all around the world because they see where I come from and they see how I turned my life around.
You were quite philosophical on the night.
Yeah.
I think you were just saying to everyone, look, calm down, it's a loss, it's experience, blah, blah, blah. But then, for the first time in probably a number of years, you took some time out. Yes. Has that done you a lot of good?
Oh, 100%. And it's needed. You know, you've seen me in the boxing ring, you know. I don't get hit. But when you get hit, a lot, when I watched little highlights back, what I learned a lot was I lost my rag. I went in there, tried to finish him, but I could have actually got him out of there. But again, that's experience. When you're under the lights, everyone's shouting, you just charge up and you go. But I could have been a lot more intelligent. And within them parts, that's when I started getting all the punishment. He started landing shots on me. And then again, after that, I was fatigued, I was tired. You know, could have been part of dehydration, I don't know. It could have been the jet lag kicking in, I don't know what it was. I was tired. First time I experienced that in the ring as well, you know, I've never felt that tired. I've never had to exert myself so much in the ring. And then, you know, I stopped moving my head, I stopped being defensively responsible, I stopped getting out of the way of shots, so I was getting hit. And then after the fight, you know, I got a bruised eyes, you know, I think my nose was bleeding in the fight. You need to take time off and reset. And that's something I would tell any fighter coming up.
There was a lot of things said, brought up afterwards on social media. I know we keep referring to social media and all this stuff about the fact he never spars and this, that and the other. Now, you've been happy to play along with all this, both you and Tunde. Now, personally, I can speak as someone who's actually seen you spar on a number of occasions. I can sort of, you know, does it make you laugh when this sort of thing comes out?
100%. I'm always laughing. So I'm laughing now. I see things on social media and I giggle. Sometimes it's a giggle, sometimes it's a get off my page. But it's like, everyone, I've noticed this about life, everyone's opinionated. You will go to the shop, you will pick up a chocolate bar, the guy next to you will tap you and go, should have got a Snickers. Do you get what I'm saying? Everyone's opinionated because everyone's got their preference in life, but you can't hate the man for having his opinion. You cannot be upset at someone for having an opinion. That's just not the way I am. You can be upset at someone for being offensive. You can be upset at someone for, you know, just being plain out of order, you know, wishing bad on you. You know, I've had people in my comments saying, I hope you get knocked out. That's a bad human being. Do you get what I'm saying? I've never wished for anyone to be hurt. That's terrible. But then some people are like, I hope Kovalev wins. That's fine, because you have a preference. You want somebody else to excel. Some people are like, I really want you to win. That's fine, you have a preference. So it's like, I don't take offense on when people have an opinion. But then, you know, every so often you get your idiot that wants to have their 2 pence and pull it in and say, you should do this, you should do that. And 9 times out of 10, they're people that have never stepped foot in a boxing ring in their life.
Just finally, and I know this fight against young Lyndon over there will be the centre of your universe for the next few weeks. But I've got to ask you about the other fight, or one of the other fights, on the card, April 11th at the O2, Mr. Daniel Dubois against Joyce. Come on, tell me about it.
You know what? Even before I was added to this card, I said it was a very exciting fight. That's gonna be fireworks. That's just because none of them are gonna go back, and we know this. Joyce has got one way of fighting, and that's to walk forward and throw punches. Daniel Dubois, again, the same thing. That's all we've seen of him: to walk forward and to throw punches, and to, you know, he tries to throw heavy shots. If the person exchanges with him, he exchanges back. Joyce does the same. So again, when that fight got announced, 2 undefeated heavyweights from Britain. Again, it don't happen nowadays. And again, with me and Lyndon Arthur, again, it don't happen. 2 undefeated, or 2. I'm not undefeated anymore, but 2 big prospects, 2 big names in Britain, on a domestic level on the same card. It don't happen.
It doesn't get much better than that, really, does it? Mr. Anthony Yarde, thank you very much, sir.